Trace, when you start a game, you have a certain set of expectations, maybe what will happen. Would you have in any way thought this could be the way it came out, 42-7?
No, in no way would I have expected this to be the outcome that we had. We put in a good long week of work. We just weren't able to get it done, and we didn't play up to our standard.
Was it more about their defense, or you guys not executing?
They got a great defense. There's no two ways about that. Everyone knows that. But then there were opportunities that we had that we didn't convert on. I had DeAndre wide open down the sideline and I missed. We had, a couple. Obviously, we had a fumble between me and Miles. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we missed on that against a defense as good as they are, you just flat out can't do that, and that's going to get you beat 42-7. So they got a great defense, but we didn't capitalize on the opportunities that we had.
What went on in the back and forth when you were coming in, Tommy was coming in, you were coming in? What was going on there, and why?
Just coach decisions. I think they wanted to try and get a spark with Tommy, really running the ball, and doing that kind of stuff, trying to just get some sort of spark, get some energy into our sideline, into our team. Tommy's the type of player he is, and he's able to do that, kind of create that spark. So I think that was part of it. And then, we're kind of going back and forth, just, really what the coaches felt. Even me and him, we were just waiting to hear what the coaches were saying before the next drive so we'd know what was going to happen.
In the scramble, did you get hurt before you went in the tent? Did you get pulled on the leg, and is that why you went in the tent on the scramble?
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm not getting into any of that.
No, but I mean, that's why you went in the tent on that, because of that play.
That specific point, yeah.
Trace, late in the second quarter, you had DeAndre open. Could you tell us what you saw in that play?
Yeah, the defender fell down, really. That's kind of all it was. I saw the defender fall down, and I can't miss him. I mean, that's flat out kind of all that really happened. So the guy fell down. DeAndre did a good job. Probably gave him some sort of move, tied the guy's feet up, and then was able to get a release. We had him open. I just missed him.
How was your knee pushing off?
Good. I'm not getting into any kind of injuries or anything like that.
Trace, how do you feel that defense ranks out of all the defenses you've seen? Are they near the top, or where do you think they sit?
Yeah, I think year after year Michigan has a great defense. That's kind of something that is a staple of who they are. Is a great defense, a physical defense. So I think that's definitely in the top. Their defense 2 years ago was also probably a top defense as well. So they got really good defense, really good team. So kind of as I said earlier, if you have opportunities against teams like that, you can't miss them. You can't let those slip away.
Trace, 2 years ago here was 49-10, and we didn't really know what Penn State football could be at that point. And then you guys got on the winning streak the next week. This game you come in as a number 14 team in the country and lose this way.
Yeah.
How does this team and this program recover and bounce back from this at this stage and where everybody is?
Yeah, I think we got to get back to being who we were at that point, where it was all about hard work and dedication and getting to that. And I'm not saying that we haven't worked hard and that slacked off, but we got to figure out ways to obviously win games. Coming in against top 5 team in the country, top defense. Like I said, if there's opportunities out there, we can't miss them. And I think offensively, that's probably a big part of it. Is that would have made it better. I'm not going to say that would have been the difference, but it definitely would have helped us to carry momentum in the half and those sort of things. But I think just as a team, we really we have to bounce back. There's no other answer for it. I mean, we got another tough game coming up next week. Wisconsin's, again, top team in the Big Ten year after year and top defense year after year. So it's a big challenge for us, and we just got to move on and get ready for that game.
Trace, when you came back in for Tommy, threw the interception, when you're walking and you're jogging off the field after that, what was going through your head at that moment?
Honestly, I was just saying expletives to myself. Just mad at myself, honestly. That was the biggest deal. Is that we just, like I said, we played sloppy. We didn't the few opportunities we had, we missed, and the times we had even to make a tough play, we didn't make it, and we compounded it and made it worse. So, I didn't play near to the standard that we needed to, and I think that was at that point it was more frustration and just frustration with myself at that point.
Trace, a lot of struggles on third down, especially recently, the last couple of weeks. Is there anything you put your finger on, maybe one or two things that's been holding you guys back converting?
You know, we gotta. You know, I think it's a general third down. You got to be able to make plays. You got to make contested catches. You got to, you know, protect. Teams are going to try and throw some different blitzes and stuff at you on third down. You got to do a really good job of understanding where those blitzes are coming from and what's going on, and then being able to protect those up, and then, you know, being able to. I think the biggest part is we're getting in a lot of, you know, third and longs and making it hard on ourselves. You know, we really don't have any third and threes, you know, third and twos. We're all third and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all that kind of stuff. So we got to be better on first and second down to give ourselves a better opportunity to convert on third down. That's honestly, that's probably the biggest part of it is having success on first and second down to keep us out of those tough situations where teams then can, you know, play man and then, you know, tee off on quarterbacks and stuff like that.
Trace, when Tommy threw the interception, you came back in. How did you find out that you were going back in? Was it Ricky over the headset who told you? Was it Coach Franklin that told you?
It was Coach Franklin. It was kind of at that point we both were, you know, just waiting to hear what was going to go on, and Coach Franklin came over and said, you're going back in, that sort of thing. So that's how that went down.
Nothing outside of that.
Trace, for somebody who's made so many plays with your legs, and answer this if you want to, I'm trying to put it in the right way. How frustrating is it when you can't make some of those plays that you've made, like running toward the sideline? You know, typically you pick up 9 yards and maybe you only get 2. How tough is that for you?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and it's frustrating, and some of the things that, you know, I don't want to sit here and make excuses in any sort of way. I got to figure out a way to get that done, if whatever the circumstance may be. So those are the type of things that, you know, it's frustrating, you know, those plays when they're not there. But again, you're playing a good defense, and guys that, you know, even you put on the tape and watch them, there's 11 guys flying at the ball every time when you watch the defense. So it's those sort of things that probably a little bit of both, but it's definitely frustrating. Not, you know, when you're not having those kind of plays, and, you know, plays where you usually might get, like you said, 9 and you're getting 3 and those kind of things. Those are the ones that kind of end up killing you, but you got to just keep pushing and keep going through it. So.
KJ seemed pretty emotional on the sideline in the fourth quarter. What did you say to him to kind of calm him down?
Yeah, you know, KJ is an extremely emotional player. He plays with his emotions on his sleeve, and he lives his life that way. You know, I think, you know, for him, it was, all I was saying, it was like, that's who you are, but you got to just make sure you don't let it get over the top. And he was, you know, clearly upset with how tonight went, like everyone was. I just didn't want him to have, you know, an explosion of that, or an outburst or anything like that on the sideline where, you know, obviously cameras are around. You guys saw he was clearly upset, but I just didn't want him to, you know, go over the top with it. And who he is, he needs to be right at that edge, and that's who he is as a person. That's even off the field. That's him. So all I was just telling him was, like, you know, we're going to get this fixed up. We're going to get back, and, you know, we're going to get this fixed next week, but just making sure he didn't go over the top.
People have said that you might be a good coach down the line because you never get you're very level-headed. You're a very level-headed, analytical guy. What are you going to do to infuse your own mind into this team after this kind of loss? Because you haven't had one like this in 2 years.
No,
They've all been close.
Yeah, you know, I think part of it is, you know, getting on to the next week and making sure that, you know, we're doing everything in our power to understand the corrections that we need to make this week, you know, coming out of this game. You know, fighting harder for the rest of the year. That's kind of all it is, fighting together. I feel like I'm a broken record saying those kind of things, but at this point, it's just, you know, making sure that everyone's staying on top of everything they're doing, not letting this week trip into next week. Because once we get in tomorrow, it's getting through the film, which is going to suck, it's going to hurt, and it's going to feel like getting punched in the gut for however many plays of football we played tonight. So it's going to be tough, but you're going to have to watch it, be critical of ourselves, and take a professional type approach of understanding what we did wrong and how we need to correct it, and then moving on to the next week and doing everything in our power to win the next game.
Rather than emotional, is that what you mean? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Professional approach rather than... Yeah,
I think there needs to be a little bit of both. Obviously, the emotions part of it is going to need to kind of come out, obviously, during the week with our mentality and our attitude with how we attack the week. We can't come into our Tuesday practice sluggish. We got to come with the correct mentality on Tuesday.
Last one.
Trace, in the fourth quarter, you know, you guys, the game's out of hand at that point. Was there at any point when you're in the game that late that you didn't feel comfortable being in the game or question why you were in the game?
No. No, that never crossed my mind one time.